At that whole point where you had your you dropped out, do you think about going back to school? What was your parents' reaction? Did they say go back, do this?
I think one of my most underrated blessings is the gift of my family. My family as a whole. They're the best. In fact, they mirror the relationship we have with Jesus. In the sense, first of all, let me start with my mom. I wasn't earning. But I would go for shows. I would go for stuff.
Yeah.
There was a time I went for a whole week. Inspiration FM Praise Jam was like a whole week. 2010 or 11.
Yeah.
2010, can't remember. I would go. I wasn't earning, but it was in VI. I was living in Akute, Alagbole. And I would beg. I would perform. I would ask Mom C for transport. And sometimes I would take it from my bag and say, Mutimo. Or every day. She didn't like what I was doing. As in the job. She wanted me to be, it's a different thing where you are supporting because you are supporting what the person is doing. It's everything where you are supporting. You don't like what the person is doing, but because the person is your son. That has to be real love. Because you don't like what this person is doing, but you are supportive of the person. Let's shout out to my mom. Same thing with my dad. When I eventually left school, broke his heart, shattered his heart into pieces because I was the guy he was looking up to for a first class and all of that stuff. And then he looked at me in fact, I was so ashamed that I said I wanted to leave the house and stay on my own and just fend for it. Like I didn't deserve. It got them angry. That statement got them angry. Can you imagine that? Like, I was feeling like, oh, I don't deserve to be here. Okay. They got angry. We're sending you away. Can you come? Stay. And my father said something. He said that because my father believed that I was going to fail in life. Let me not say believe. He was scared because I didn't have a degree. Yeah. And so one day he just told me that, I say, whatever happens to you, don't forget that you have a home and you can always come back. You can always come home. That thing touched me because it felt like a cushion effect. And so even though, like, I always remember that I can always go home. But guess what? I mean, God has been faithful. But in the end, I mean, it just felt good to know. And so, my parents were heartbroken. There was a time my mother took me to the head of our church. I grew up in an Orthodox church. So took us to the head of the church at the time. And she was telling him that, the man was telling me, you have to look for something honorable to do. Comedy is not an honorable profession. Yeah. Look at me now, I'm a pharmacist.
It's okay. I think our story is very similar.
Look at me, I'm a pharmacist. And I chose to be a minister. And you have to look for something honorable. I looked to my right, my mom was crying away. And I think it was 2021, my mom, she was receiving an award in church, like a Lagos thing, and the bishop was there. So I went to represent my family with her. I took pictures with her and I was like, I'm leaving. And mom said, you won't greet Bishop? Come and greet Bishop. And I took me to the Bishop.
Bishop Akinde?
I think it was the one after Akinde.
Olu Johnson?
I can't remember his name. But it was Bishop. Because he was Episcopal, he was purple and all of that. And so it was like, Bishop, my son is a comedian. I just remembered the honor, he's honorable now. But so in the end, one thing I noticed is that no matter, and this has helped me looking at things in retrospect, that whatever our parents were doing, it's possible that people, even if you believe that they were wrong, people can be sincerely wrong. You might think they were wrong, but they were being sincere. They wanted the best for you and they want the best for you, and they still is out of love. It's never out of it. Another thing is, parents also want to see your resolve.
Yes. To situation.
They want to know that you know what you're doing.
They want to be sure.
That's why you can be 30 and your parents are still telling you what to do. Because you're not because it doesn't really seem like, okay, if you say I want to do this, come on, do this, and you now do it, it means that you really did not want to do it. They want to see how, okay, after a while, this guy seems to know what he's doing.
How you respond to things, yes.
He seems to know what he's doing. And sometimes that's just the difference. He seems to know where he's going. And because nobody wants their child to just float in the and not knowing what they're doing. Like,
People Mike said that our parents have our best interest at heart. But just that most of the time they react to it in the wrong way. They don't know how to react or how to handle it. So they just want to put what they think is best for you.
Again, you thinking they are wrong is still subjective because it's still early in life. We've not even proven them wrong yet. You
true.
think you've proven them? The Bible talks about
your Netflix special. Is that how you just prove them wrong?
again. The Bible says there's a way that seemeth right unto a man. The end thereof is. It didn't say the middle. We're still in the beginning now. We've not gotten to the middle, so we don't even know whether we're right or wrong.
Actually,
But what I'm trying to say in the end is that whether you think they are wrong or they are right, just know that they are sincere. They're your parents. And so it really hurts me because I really wish I could do it for them. But in the end, I see it. I see the love. I feel the love, even till now, till yesterday night. Because my parents keep asking me, okay, what? Even though my father, because of me, started getting interested in comedy and trying to know. Sometimes he would tell me, oh, Alibaba is on channels now. Go and watch it. He said, do you understand what I'm saying? And as little as those things, like it means a lot.
Yeah.
It means that they actually genuinely love me, because left to them, I should be an engineer. I should be working in an office. I should be going through the normal trajectory of life.
All right. That's an amazing one. This was intro. We don't spread up to almost 40 minutes.
It's okay.
I swear.
You forgot me since now.
I don't think the story is interesting.
Now what? Settle down, big.
Okay.
Summarize them now.
Let's delve into one another amazing conversation I always have with you.
Delve. Okay, continue.
Correct me.
No,
I know you don't start.
No. There was an issue with it. That's why.
Okay. All right. So, the Nigerian comedy industry. That's okay. When I was young and I was watching the comedy industry, it was amazing. I loved it. I didn't know what was going on to them at that time, but it was good. You know, that's where 1,000 laugh. You said you watched, the hall was full, jam-packed. There was no regular table. There was no any spray me money. It was just...
There's always been regular.
It was just church-like setting. Face front. You understand? That's where 1,000 Muson Center, all of that. And pure jokes, you know. There was a time they did Worry Game Woman for Worry. There was time they did Ring Road. There was time they did Saple. There was time they did Army Slap Me. Why? There was time they did... There was a train and everything was going so high. But they started... I don't know whether... there was a decline. A decline started coming in the industry. And then what we grew up watching and wanted to do, we didn't get it, or we're not getting it. Do you understand? Now it's hard to break through in comedy like it was then.
Yeah.
It's okay. We have guys that are good in our set now. These guys should be superstars, but you can see them up today and then down tomorrow. Like, what exactly is going on? What happened? Because you of course you have studied it, you've watched it, and I've seen you. But you're doing what I feel like is actually, standing out as a light. So, because many of them, I've spoken to them and they've said things like, it's okay, it's once in a lifetime. That Netflix, if it come again. And I was telling when I said Netflix can come again for many of us if we just know what we are doing and we do it right. Yeah, so like, what do you think happened to our industry?
Thank you very much.